Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the event safety briefing video for this coming weekend's Great Adventure Challenge 2024 up at Fingal Bay. Can't wait to see you all up there for a terrific day supporting Starlight Children's Foundation and the terrific work that they do. Before we get started, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional custodians upon whose land we will be meeting and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. This won't be a long video, just a few safety things I'd like to go over with you prior to Saturday. Firstly, on your course description, there will be listed some emergency contact numbers. There is good mobile coverage over the course for this weekend, so if you do get any issues out on course and your team requires assistance, please give those emergency contact numbers a call so we can initiate the appropriate first aid response. You will be travelling in teams of 4, so your first point of call for any assistance will be your teammates. Then if you need extra assistance, feel free to give us a call during the event and we'll be able to get in and help you out where needed. An important safety thing for this coming weekend is that there are no roads closed for the event. So any roads that you are travelling along, and they include some of the fire trails that the event will be using, are open to the public and can have vehicles travelling along them. Therefore, whenever you're on a road, make sure you're riding on single file, sticking to the left and obeying all the road rules. We want you to give way to any traffic. The traffic will not be directed to give way to you. So a couple of spots where you're crossing some quiet roads, could be a vehicle there, make sure you give way to any vehicles, stick to the left, ride in single file, like you would when riding on the road normally. We also don't have exclusive use of the trails that you'll be using. So there will be other users out there. It could be walkers, riders, things like that as well. They have as much right to be on the trails as you do. So please give them all due respect. Give them a smile and a wave as you pass them on the day. When you're within the national park on some of the riding and running legs as well, there can be other users on four-wheel drives, trail bikes especially in the area. They shouldn't really be in there, but it is a popular spot for those sort of activities. So keep an eye out for them, give them plenty of space. You'll probably hear them before you see them. So if you start to hear a trail bike approaching, once again, make sure you're on the left in single file, all those things so they can pass you by safely. When on the mountain bike legs, we ask that you please ride to your ability. We know a lot of you don't ride mountain bikes a lot, so you could find some of the sections a bit technical. If that is the case, please get off and walk those short sections rather than trying to ride them and ending up coming off your bike. This is especially true for a couple of spots where you'll find, well, maybe more than a couple of spots, there's quite a lot of sand on the track. The tracks are quite sandy. That can catch you out. Does mean a softer landing if you do come off your bike, but beware when riding through those sandy tracks to be careful. Try to stick to the harder packed surface so you get more traction with your tyres. The weather conditions for this Saturday are looking quite cool. So please plan accordingly. You might need an extra jumper or jacket or two, even when out on the course. There's also going to be a large ocean swell. That means that the kayak leg is currently up in the air while we work through some changes to try to make that happen. But it also means that when you're on any legs that are traveling nearby the ocean, either along a beach or along some headlands, that you watch out for any rogue waves. Stay back from the ocean a bit further than what you normally would, and just keep an eye on it. There is a large swell running, which means there could be some larger waves, so take a special care when near the ocean. I spoke about the kayaking leg and some changes that are taking place for that leg. Provided that goes ahead, you will need to, we ask you that you stick close to the shore when paddling. The conditions might look calm where you're starting from, but they could get a bit more hectic as you go further offshore. So stick close to the shore, stay nice and tight, as I said, to the coastline, so that you're protected from that large swell that I have mentioned. There will be people keeping an eye on that, making sure the conditions are right to go ahead before we put you out on any kayaking legs. A couple of quick timing notices. So all teams will be given 2 timing chips this year. That is to help make sure that more of you go to each of the checkpoint locations and get them, and there's no breaking the hunt. There's no encouragement to break the 100-meter rule and just send one person off to get the checkpoint while the rest of you wait. So you'll need to punch both of those chips at the checkpoints. So if they can please be with 2 separate people on each leg. There's a couple of bonus checkpoints on the course. The bonus checkpoints are really designed for the faster teams to help extend their day and have them out on the course for a good period of time, as opposed to flying around and finishing quite quickly and then waiting for some of the slower teams. So those bonus checkpoints are really designed for the faster teams. So if that's you, have a quick look at the course description, make sure that you're comfortable that any bonus time you will receive from collecting them is worth the effort to get them. But if you're a slower team, maybe consider not doing some of or all of those bonus checkpoints so you can get around the course in a good time period. Another little bonus thing for you, for those of you that have watched the video this far, one of the mystery challenges for this weekend could involve building a sandcastle. And maybe if you had some extra equipment that your team has brought with you that will help with any sandcastle building, might help you on the day receive a bigger bonus for that challenge. So a little bonus for those of you that watched the video this far. The final thing I need to talk about is out of bounds areas. There will be areas marked on your map that are out of bounds. Obviously teams cannot be seen or cannot travel through those out of bounds areas. So please make sure you have a look at those on your map. Once again, map handout and course description handout will be tomorrow, Friday, between 5 and 7 at the event finish location outside Fingal Bay Surf Lifesaving Club. So come along. It doesn't need to be all of you, just 1 or 2 of you can come along, collect that map and course description. If you then have any questions, I'll be there and some of my colleagues will be there for that 2-hour period. So if you have any questions about the course, about the map, anything like that, it's an excellent time to ask them before you get too deep into your planning. But then again, on Saturday morning from 7 o'clock at 1 Mile Beach, where the start line is, I'll be there and some of my colleagues will be there and happy to answer any questions or clear up any areas of confusion you might have to make the day go smoother. Thanks you for watching all the way through. Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow, and then especially on Saturday morning for another great edition of the Great Adventure Challenge. Thanks very much.